Hello again. Well, it's a beautiful summer's day and I'm walking an ancient trail known as the Viking Way. It's 147 miles long and it runs between the Humber Bridge in North Lincolnshire and Oakham in the tiny county of Rutland. Now it's called the Viking Way because it crosses an area once occupied by the Norse invaders. And I'll be walking a small stretch along the ridge of the Lincoln Edge which leads to the village of Bracebridge Heath. Well, I'm sure you can see that tall chimney stack. Well, that's all that remains of the old Crossercliff brickworks. Now I'd really like to get a closer look, but it's very overgrown with nettles and brambles and oh, what the hell. Let's try. I am now literally up to my waist in nettles, but I'm getting closer. The brickworks has been here since 1872 and it closed at the turn of the 20th century. The stack used to be 45 feet high, but in 1992 it was deemed to be unsafe, so it was reduced in height by 17 feet. Well, this is it. Bit disappointing. I thought at the back of the stack there might be an old building to explore, but there's nothing but nettles. Can't believe that I've been wading literally waist deep in nettles and I haven't been stung once. I shouldn't say that until I'm well clear of them, should I? That way takes you to Brant Road on the outskirts of Lincoln, and this way leads to the Lincoln Edge, a limestone escarpment formed by Jurassic seas some 160 million years ago. And we're going to the top and eventually arrive at Bracebridge Heath. Now the escarpment is 200 feet high. Whew, it's very hot, so I'm going to stop talking until I get to the top. I'm on the top of the ridge, and on a clear day like today you can see the Trent Valley from here and the hills of North Nottinghamshire. Whew. That really is hot, and I've been walking for a good few hours, so I'm going to sit down for a while, have a bit of a rest. And admire the view. Now, a little known local legend has it that at certain times a procession of phantoms walk the top of this escarpment. They are said to be ghostly monks from the Priory of St Catherine, a Gilbertine priory that once stood a few miles from here. Interesting fact, St Catherine, the patron saint of learning, was tortured on a wheel, and the Catherine wheel firework was named after her. Now the phantom monks are said to carry flaming torches. Now because of this, I suspect that they are much older than medieval monks. There are springs on these upper slopes, and they might have had a ritual significance in pagan time. So the story of the monks might not be a haunting in the traditional sense. It may be a vague recollection of some pagan tradition, a race memory, if you will. Fascinating, but far too complex a subject to go into here. I'm now in the village of Bracebridge Heath, and that building that looks like a lighthouse is a water pumping station for one of the UK's oldest underground reservoirs. It was built in 1912 to provide clean water to Lincoln after a typhoid outbreak caused by contaminated water was responsible for 113 deaths in the city in 1904. An equally impressive water tower can be found at Westgate in Lincoln, and that was featured in one of my earlier vlogs. This is the Homestead pub, an impressive Victorian building with a reputation for being very haunted indeed. For example, a husband and wife who ran the pub complained of being woken each night by strange noises in the building. The sounds of smashing plates were heard, and heavy furniture being dragged across the floor between 3 AM and 4 AM every night. But on investigation, there was nothing to account for the disturbances. Most of the noises came from a spare room above the pub. The mystery deepened when a woman who had lived in the pub when she was a child told the landlady that the spare bedroom had once been a nursery and her nanny had passed away in the room. The family had found her dead in a rocking chair. If that wasn't disturbing enough, apparitions have been seen here. A grey lady haunts various rooms on the ground floor. And the ghost of an unfriendly looking man has been seen in the bar by staff and customers alike. Now the apparition might be connected to the history of the building. It was once the residence of the medical superintendent for the County Pauper Lunatic Asylum, which is just a short walk from here. This is the former St John's Hospital. Now I haven't been here since 2005, when I made a video documenting various ghost stories associated with the place. St John's opened in 1852 as the County Pauper Lunatic Asylum, and it remained a mental health facility until its closure in 1989, not 1985, as I said in my original video. An embarrassing error that was pointed out by one of my loyal subscribers. Now there's been a lot of changes here in the past 15 years, so I'll include some footage I took in 2005 for comparison.
Now a lot of the patients here were children. They lived and died here, which may explain why the sounds of ghostly children's voices have been heard coming from this ruined church.
St John's remained derelict for 24 years before there was any kind of redevelopment. The most notable change since I was last here is that they have cleaned up the brickwork. Now for a long time it was easy to access the old hospital, and I guess it's not so easy now with these high fences. Now I was tempted to have a look inside when I was last here, but then as now, I was on my own, and I wasn't brave or foolish enough to go exploring the inside of a crumbling old building alone. Hello there. But if you want to see what this place looks like on the inside, then there are several interesting videos on YouTube you can check out. Well, that's it. I'm on my way home. It's a long walk. Don't worry, I won't bring you along on that. You've endured enough. I'll leave you here. As usual, thanks ever so, and I hope you'll join me next time.